And let's bring in Wesley Hunt, Army veteran, who is running for Congress in Texas. Wesley, you heard AOC there say that Texas turning blue is inevitable. What do you think? Is it?
You know, AOC's dream of turning Texas blue is no more real than Santa Anna's dream of conquering Texas. It just ain't gonna happen. And look, she comes down here to Texas and she loves our freedom, but she doesn't want Texans to have freedom. She's completely out of touch with Texas. And when you look at the policies that she supports, what's happening at our southern border, enough fentanyl to kill every American in this country 5 times has poured into this country. Our supply chain issues, the assault on the oil and gas industry. This is just not how we roll down here in Texas.
Yeah, all great points, but I think that some conservatives do worry about Texas turning blue because people from California and New York and New Jersey, they're leaving their high tax areas and moving to Texas and could be bringing their politics with them. It is happening, so how do you fight back against that?
You know, it's happened to a certain extent, but if you look at where Joe Biden is and the Biden administration, how poorly they are doing amongst independents and the issues that I just listed, we aren't really concerned about that. It's up to Republicans to get our message out that, look, we are the party of freedom. We are the party of liberty. No mask mandates, no vaccine mandates. If you have a business and you want to come here and you want to grow your business, Texas is the best place to do that. But don't bring your politics with you. There's a reason why we're like that here and in Florida. And we got to make sure that we keep our state red.
You know, Wesley, I want to tap into your military experience here. There's this after-action report that shows that military leaders were frustrated with the White House and the State Department during the disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal. And the Washington Post sums up this report saying, declassified U.S. military analysis of the calamitous exit from Afghanistan detailed repeated instances of friction between American troops and diplomats before and during the evacuation, concluding that indecisiveness among Biden administration officials and initial reluctance to shutter the embassy in Kabul sowed chaos and put the overall mission at increased risk. Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby was asked about this yesterday. Listen to what he had to say.
Yeah, I think we need to keep these documents in perspective. They didn't think that these documents were going to become public. They weren't talking to reporters. They were talking to investigators, and they were talking about appropriately what they saw there at the airport, what they experienced there in Kabul and in Afghanistan in real time.
He says that we need to keep these documents in perspective. What is your perspective on them?
So we watch this unfold in real time, and when we take back the House here in 2022, we need to have a complete investigation as to what happened. And I am shocked that Jen Psaki didn't even know that an AAR had been conducted. But this is weakness being displayed on a world scale, and you're looking at what's happening with Russia and the Ukraine and China and Taiwan and Iran having a path to a nuclear weapon yet again. This would have never happened during the 4 years under the Trump administration. And right now, Joe Biden is making Jimmy Carter look strong. And furthermore, if we can't defend our southern border, and Putin knows this, how can we possibly defend the Ukrainian border? Again, we look weak. This is the weakest we've looked for the last 40 years. We've got to do something about this. And this report only shows just how haphazardly that exit from Afghanistan was, and it cost us 13 American lives. It is unacceptable.
Yeah, and I think that one of the biggest concerns now is the danger Afghanistan poses without a military presence there. And I hope that doesn't come back to bite us. Wesley, thank you for joining us this morning.
Yes.